Hello, I'm Alan Fuso Stewart, and I want to welcome you to my Zen video blog. This is episode 3, and today I'd like to talk about the concept of boundaries. As a mental health professional and therapist, clients talk to me about boundaries all the time. The basic concept of boundaries is knowing what are the limits that you expect. How do you expect to be treated? How will you treat others? What are you willing to do? What are you not willing to do? And when we do something or when we don't do something, is the thing that we're doing or not doing authentic to who we really are? And that is the place where Zen and the concept of boundaries intersect. The notion that who we really are is profoundly good, profoundly valuable, and deserving of respect, of care. And I don't even have to know who you are or anything about you to know that that's true. The Buddha taught that all human beings have Buddha nature. When we bow in the context of a Zen service, we're not bowing to the Buddha. We're bowing to the enlightened nature within all of us that the Buddha represents. Buddha means enlightened one. So being the enlightened one is fundamental to who you are. I can't give it to you because you already have it. So you might ask, well, how does that relate to boundaries? And the answer is, it relates to boundaries because if who you are is a valuable, precious, awakened being who has vast potential to do good in the world and to commit acts that reverberate positive effects through all of time and space, then you deserve to be treated well. You deserve to be respected. It's hard because our mind creates obstacles, lots of them. One of the obstacles that our mind creates is that we want to be liked. Another one is fear. Fear that we won't make it on our own. Fear that we're not good enough, that we're not worthy, that we don't deserve good things. And so we don't say what's in our hearts. Often we don't even say it to ourselves. But one of the things I've been fond of saying for a long time is that the great thing about boundaries is that you don't have to convince anyone that the boundaries you set for yourself are correct. You just have to tell them. When someone treats you in a manner that is unkind or unsafe, when someone threatens your emotional well-being or your physical well-being, you don't have to get them to agree that what you need is what you need. You just have to tell them. And then you have to act on what you've told them. That's boundaries in a nutshell. We know who we are, we know what is authentic, and we communicate that fearlessly, clearly, without aggression. We communicate who we are, what we need. So what does Zen have to say about that? When we sit, when we notice our thoughts, when we let them go, when we keep sitting, things come up. Thoughts, insights, emotions. The things that are inside us want to come up. They want to be seen. The question is, do we have the tenacity? Do we have the discipline Do we have the resolve to sit with what comes up and really look at it? In our relationships, in our jobs, in every aspect of our life. The wisdom that we carry inside is so much more profound than anything that comes from a book or from another teacher. You know you best. You know you best. And when we take the time to sit and let things get quiet, this is why I encourage everyone to develop a meditation practice, because when you sit, you know what you need. And then we don't have to explain things with some sort of rationale. Oh, well, I've always put other people's feelings first. I've always been a pleaser. When you say you're a pleaser, you're imprisoning yourself in the role of pleaser, and that's your identity. But that's not who you are. Who you are is vast, limitless, boundless. So don't constrain yourself in that way. When we sit, we discover that we aren't these things that we think that we are. These are our conditioned responses. You're a pleaser because you needed to please to survive. You're aggressive because you needed to be aggressive to survive. In our lives, we develop ways of being that allow us to survive difficult circumstances. But long after those circumstances have passed, we keep doing the same things over and over, causing the same problems in our relationships, the same problems in our jobs, the same problems in our health. This is what the human mind does. It does the same things over and over and over again. And the way we break the cycle is we sit and we notice and we let it go. And we do that over and over until we gain some traction, until we learn to speak our truth. I don't have answers for your life, but you have answers for your life. My wish for you is that you sit and you stay with what comes up, that you bring the situations that cause you the greatest suffering and the greatest pain into your zazen. Meditation is not about finding some enlightened, peaceful hiding place. It's about working with and working through what is. So bring the problems that you have to the furnace of your zazen and then sit with them. If you do that, the solutions will come, because you'll know who you are and you will know what you need to do. Then you can draw the boundary. And if you can't convince others in your life that what you know is right, that's okay. You don't have to. We don't need other people to confirm the truth of who we are. The truth of who we are is self-confirming. If you know it, you know it. Your job's done. Certainly it can be useful to have a therapist or a teacher who can be a mirror, who can help you find insight, who can help you not make rash decisions. But as long as we're not hurting others, as long as we're not engaging in violence or doing something sort of off the map of what I'm trying to talk about, it's okay. Be who you are. If others don't respect that, or others are angry about that, or others distance themselves from you or tell you you've hurt them, that's not your problem. They need to take that to the fire of their zazen, if they have a practice at all. what I'm recommending is for you, if you're struggling with drawing boundaries, if you're struggling with standing up for yourself, if you're struggling with letting yourself have real emotions, if you know what you need to do but you won't let yourself do it, bring all of yourself to the cushion and sit. And sit until the truth of who you are and the truth of the boundaries that you need to have is so vivid and so clear to you that it cannot be any other way. And then lovingly and peacefully communicate that information, and then step away. Don't fight. Don't argue. Tell the truth and step back. The people in your life will either respond with kindness, with support, with awareness, or they'll respond with unconsciousness and anger. And if they respond from unconsciousness and they don't come around, they may not be the most supportive people. If that's painful, if that's your truth, that's okay. Take that to the fire, your zazen. Sit with that. Grieve that. Zen is not about creating a solution that makes everything easy. It's about telling the truth. When we draw healthy boundaries, we tell the truth. The people who love us and support us in the context of our truth, that's our spiritual family. That's our Sangha. That's why it's one of the 3 pillars of Zen. The Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. The Sangha is the community. The people who respect you for who you are, who support who you are, who support your development and cultivation, that's your Sangha. And in some sense, while we're not separate from anyone else in the world, on a relative level, we may need to be distant from those that hurt us. We don't explore oneness in order to be unsafe. So whatever you're struggling with, bring it to your cushion. Live into the truth of it, and then communicate. No need to argue, no need to convince. If you know what's true for you in your heart, you know it. Find the Sangha that supports you as who you really are. And as always, if you have thoughts, if you have questions, please comment below and let me know how I can help. Thank you for your attention, and may your life go well.